2, action.
3, 2, 1.
Bill, hot liquor, not for the bay.
Everywhere, 7:30 p.m.
Wow.
Ball and slick. Let's go.
Yo, me, Mill done.
Raul the God, triple code.
We got two motherfuckers. We got a goddamn special guest in the building. We doing a motherfucking collaboration.
I gonna break it out, man. This Bowl Light TV was a big special guest, man.
Yeah.
With motherfucking old good hot liquor, man. And the thing, you got the biggest gangster, the biggest OG, my motherfucking OG. Big gangster, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout yourself out, big OG.
Wow. I'm in the building. I got a question.
What's up?
Where's the beer?
Hey, we missed the store run, man.
Okay.
We had to wait on Slick to pull up in the hot sun for about 2-3 hours. So
Okay.
That's about 30 minutes from shit.
Who came up with this idea? Cold beer, hot liquor. Who came up with that?
I came up with it a long time ago.
I like that.
Yeah, word.
Cool.
Yeah, so how long you been out now?
2 years and 9 months.
After what, 23 years?
20 and 10 months. Don't forget 10 months.
Okay, 10 months.
23 and 10. Day for day.
Yeah.
What kind of charges? What kind of charges they hit you with?
848, continuing criminal enterprise. And so this is commit murder.
So what they get your life sentence?
Plus 20.
Damn. So what they saying how you beat it? You had to damn tell on somebody that was damn like dead or some shit, or
No,
speak on that.
That's what happened. I let people run with that narrative,
right.
but that's not what really happened. What happened was when I was sentenced for the 848, they gave me life for 2 homicides, 2 murders. I was never indicted or charged for them. So every time I go to court, the prosecutor would bring up all these other murders with me, cash money, and bring up all this stuff. So it was like they would deny me just because of that.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, you know what? I got somebody over at the homicide division, and he didn't want to give me immunity for him anyway. So I went over to them and got the immunity for the homicides with me and the Hot Boys committee. He wrote the letter to the Fed saying, hey, he closed these cases. I had to talk to some of the victims' family too. But when Donald Trump came into office in 2018, when he signed for the First Step Act, it's called under extraordinary compelling circumstances, where you can file saying, hey, back in the days I was bound by the guidelines, I was stuck. Now that the guidelines are advisory, I'm actually the court to reduce my sentence because I have this certificate, I stayed out of trouble, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
But when people ran with, oh, you gotta just tell them that, I thought that was pretty cool, so I just let it flow so I could keep getting interviewed.
Okay, where?
Yeah.
I wonder where that come from.
Yeah, keep on going.
So you started the Hot Boys
Yes. Well, let me just say this. I can't just take all the credit because it was more than me, but some of the homies deceased. Doing the story, Mosquito deceased. My best friend Hank, he's still alive, and a few other people still alive. Some of them, they not worried of me calling their names because they my internet ops right now.
Okay.
Internet ops, what you mean? Like, it's just on the internet? Like, real people life, it's not an op?
Well, to them it might be, but I always say internet op because that's where I have my most fun. Because
Your most fun?
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Because I tell people, I don't want no problem, I'm not looking for problem. But if a fire start, I will put it out.
Not for the
So that's
bleed.
big facts. So that's why I stay on the internet with it. But I know if I see them on the streets,
it's real people life and it's real people time, and we on that time.
Right.
It ain't gonna be that internet talking shit.
No.
I got you.
So that's why for the rated PG, the POs and everybody be watching, hey, I'm on the internet with it. I don't want to go back behind that wall, man. But there's some beautiful women out here, man.
Man, I'm talking about legs
Man,
everywhere.
yeah, man.
And they smell good.
Yeah, I got on some of them now.
I'm saying, like your hands,
That's,
dude.
yeah, you know what I'm talking about? What you want to lead this? Don't have us in there.
Your hands get like
Man, the beautiful, the first lady loaned me her lotion. Because, you know, people be watching when I be action, they be on me. So I got to,
got them zooming in.
yeah, they be zooming in all the little. Yeah, man, but it's cool. I like it. I don't
Y'all
mind.
people don't do that. Stop that shit.
Yeah, they be on me, man. So I got to make sure I was good. So the first lady took care of me. Yeah. Talk to me.
How the podcast life treat? I see you booked everywhere, all that LA type shit everywhere.
Well, they've been showing love, and then I piggyback off it. So I was like, you know what? I like this kind of money, so I'm gonna get my own. So me and my podcast partner, Crypto Jeezy, we started Up With Us podcast, Talk Your Talk.
Yeah, I watch it.
So what we do is we do it for late night, like for the truck driver, late night workers and stuff. We have people calling, cussing me out, or they cuss him out. We let them shout out their business. We just like to have fun. Because I learned this internet that, you know, a lot of people just troll behind a computer, behind the phone. You might never see these people. So I just take advantage of that. And man, let me tell you what I did. I went to California. I went on No Jumper, Vlad, and Cam Capone all in one day.
All in one day?
All in one day. I hit all three of them in one day.
Which one you fuck with the most?
Oh, man, you trying to get me in trouble.
Nah, we want to know that. We need to know that.
All of them, because they all paid.
All right. Besides the principle of the money.
That's all I like.
Which vibe is it?
No, stop right there.
Stop.
Let me be honest with you, because here's the thing. Like, prime example, when I met Slick, when I went to Carolina, they showed me the most love out there. Like, real talk, I went to the club. Now, I would say this. When they came to this man feed me, it was some small diabetic chicken they gave me. Talking about Bowling, they was down bad, and I'm still traumatized by that. That's why I go get my own chicken. Like, I fly on a plane with my own Popeyes. The people that, where you going with it? I'm like, I got you, because if I'm going around Bowling TV, I got to bring my own food. But they showed me love, right? So when I'm with my people, no matter, you know, that's the color of me, I know we're going to have fun. We're going to turn up. Other people, it just be business. Okay. So, you know, I respect it as business, and, you know, it is what it is. Because it's like, go ahead.
So how you and Birdman relationship?
It's rocky. I believe, let me say this. If I really needed something, I really wanted him, I could call.
Okay.
It's just like, I always tell people, put the pride to the side, but I won't do that. I've been on this long without him, so I don't need him now.
Have you spoke to him since you've been out?
Yeah, when I first come home. Why are you raised up looking at me, man?
Hey,
I'm taking the fifth. I take the fifth.
I don't know what all the internet shit going on. Big Cash Swing will have Birdman on all time to everybody. So, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. I plead the fifth.
Just saying, man.
Wow. I'm in a building. Yo. Yeah.
So Slim, your brother too?
Yeah.
So what about your relationship?
Lovely. Slim the one when I first come home. Slim not into the politics.
Okay.
So Slim don't care about what he said, she said, what's going on. Slim like money and like to chill. He was the first one when I come home who gave me money for my the documentary.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how did y'all turn the Hot Boys like gang into, it was a gang back in the day, right? A so-called or whatever you want to call it.
You know, we just was in the project, hanging out, wilding out, taking hits, selling drugs, playing with women, you know, police, people trying to kill us. It just was, you know, and we just, I never thought that name. If I knew what I knew now, well, I would trademark that, because, man, before I got the fade, he was a 25-year-old youngster. And we was getting ready to go to Child. He was standing in front, and I saw in the back of his neck, Hot Boy. I said, girl, I've been now 20, I mean, he 20. You know, so it just was some neighborhood children clicking up and hanging out and just calling ourselves that.
So how y'all turned into like a rap group?
Oh, no, we ain't bust rap, we bust caps. We didn't do that. No, we ain't do that, but no, for real, what happened was when Cash Money was doing their thing, so we used to be on the regular tour bus going out of town. So Baby was like, well, everybody knows as Birdman, but we call it Baby. So it was like, I need a name for my group. So we going through names, like about 30 minutes. So I was like, how many? He was like, it's 4 of them. I said, damn, the Hot Boys. He said, I like it. He said, what's the concept? I said, they look nice, they dress nice, they got jewelry, cars, clothes, females, the enemy's looking for them, the police looking for them. All right, have you always experienced this? Because you know, I tell people this, in every state, every city, there's a gangster, there's a killer.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, like if you on a set, everybody chilling on the set, and when that one person walk up, everybody, what's up, dog? And before you know it, Slick will walk off, you will walk off, he'll walk, everybody start walking off, don't want to be around him. Mm-hmm. That's how it was for us. So we started noticing that. Like we might pull up, they have a dice game, might pull up people just, what's up, boy? They smile, but they'll start, all right, well, I gotta go. They'll start, what's up? And man, y'all hot. Okay. We looking for y'all, the enemy's looking for y'all hot.
So is that a rumor when they say on the internet, when Birdman say for you to get out of New Orleans or Louisiana?
Well, that was true, but he didn't say it like a threat.
Okay.
Because I answer all that. I'm him now, for real, before I became civilian. But what it was, when I first come home, I got released straight to New Orleans. So he was like, man, get from down there, man. Because it's like everybody who I come up with was already gone. And them little youngsters was wild out there. And it's like, bro, you don't have that pull like you had. You know, you is the next man up.
So would you say BG got his name from you?
Yeah, that was my little son back then. Okay. Yeah.
You spoke to them?
No. But we had our little clash since I've been home, since he been home. What's up with you, Slick, bro?
Let me ask you a question though, right?
Uh-huh.
So during all that time, like what was one of the biggest lessons that you learned back then?
In prison?
Yeah.
Stay out of trouble because my whole bid was going good until Hurricane Katrina hit. When Hurricane Katrina hit, that's when I realized I failed my mother, my children, my grandfather, because I wasn't there to help them. But other than that, I had a smooth bid because Baby and Slim took care of my whole bid. I never wanted for nothing. Now to my thousands on my book. I was penitentiary rich. But when Katrina hit, that's when I realized, like, you know, they say crime don't pay. I was like, man, I'm in here seeing this stuff, and I'm used to see this on in other countries. So for me to see that, and I was in a penitentiary, bro, around killers, dudes with 11, 12 life sentences, crying like a baby. Because I was like, man, I thought my mother and grandfather had died in the house. But then they made it out, so I was happy for that. But yeah, I was in the penitentiary when that happened. USP McQuarrie.
Check this out, right? I seen your show the other day, right? But you know, you being Muslim, see,
Here you go with the bull.
I'm saying straight up, right? So by you being Muslim, Rollo being Muslim, you see the reaction he's getting for how he coming out, but motherfucker not looking at it as business. You know, it niggas out on top of the street and shit. What you think about that?
I don't like that, and I did a video on that because of this. Why is it that the Muslims, why we always being scrutinized, or people always bring up our religion with the internet when this is a Christian country? Some rappers, a lot of people had a cross around their neck, and they'll rap and talk about Jesus. They do all this. They could commit all these sins and cut up on that, but that's cool. But the minute the Muslim do it, oh, y'all ain't do it. So is one thing you telling me is our religion down? Are we on the truth? But I like what Rollo doing because he a young man that come home, like myself, found the niche on the internet, and he doing what I got people doing, talking about us. But what I respect about what Rollo do, he get his money, he show love though. He not like a lot of people get the money and cuff it. So, but I'm rocking Rollo 1000, right or wrong with my brother. Man, he cutting up. He cutting up right now. I love it. I love it. Because guess what? All the religious people know God forgives. So why are we worrying about, what he doing for us? Y'all talk. And I understand what people saying, Rollo come home, like, on a cool, humble, then he flipped it a little bit, but that's what's selling. He monetized. And that's what's selling right now,
And he in the other world.
Oh, bro. And the reason why I love it, I understand it, because I remember Slim told me, he said, bro, he said, when you come home, you fought. You went to war with a lot of people. He said, man, if you'd have tucked your tail, I wouldn't be on the phone with you now. I said, bro, I was a gangster in real life. The internet that's a cakewalk. I ain't gonna never see these guys ever get in my life. Man, it's up. How y'all say it's up and it's stuck. Man, let's get it. But yeah, I sometimes I don't like when people do that, put our religion with our antics on social media because it's just for fun. Now I would say this here, I know a lot of people be getting their feelings in if they see they're gonna want to work, you know what I'm saying? But that's something, you know, that's why I stay in my lane. I don't go too far with it.
So, another question. Gangster. You see how the street playing out on courtrooms on the internet? The young dogs is with. You see how they came out and said CMG paid for the lawyer and all that he come to get got? We think about that whole situation.
You saw, I'm the one that posted that paperwork with all the hits. Oh, you've been watching. I didn't think you watched the little channel. All right, thank you. No, because of it. This is why I don't believe that God is going to go to jail. Because first of all, how long that trial been going on? Well, they've been on investigation for a long time. No, I'm talking about the as far as the investigation, and they've been knowing about the situation for some years. So we all know when the feds got some, the law changed. At one time, when the feds have you on investigation, if you talking about deleting someone, talking about taking someone's life, they would terminate the investigation because they was held accountable for it.
But you see how the dude said CMG. You see how he said CMG paid for the lawyer. All the time.
Oh, listen, I know the whole case. I know everything. So please don't interrupt me anymore. So, like I was saying, if I was rude interrupted by him, what happened was allegedly the guy who was on the stand's sister brought the money to the lawyer, and she said that's where it come from. So there's no proof it comes from CMG. It's just people. And here's another thing. Shout out to Govan. Govan, who on the case, he go to court on the 9th, and he better start doing interviews. So I got the paperwork from him. It's in their discovery. So I was like, okay, just give me that little part. I was like, I don't want too much of it because I know you about to do the interviews. I don't want to get in your way. So that's how I was able to post the part with all the hits on with everybody on there. So I got it from him. It's in their discovery. So I said to say this here. The Fed's been aware of this stuff. So they was going to get got it. The room got it. But what happens is you can have a co-defendant. And I can say, man, Slick gave us 100 keys a month. So the Fed's going to just take out of consideration. So when they finally get you, they're going to add all that on you. But think about this. And this is what I look at. In my paperwork, you know what? I got the paperwork here, I think. It's in a hotel room. How I got out, I'm going to show you that. I'm going to show it to you. Anyway, it's in my car now. You're getting jealous now. So what happens is this. In my paperwork, right, a little dude ran through a gun, right? My co-defendant called me. It's task force day. He said, man, the police about to put a warrant for your arrest. I was like, man, the young, dumb knucklehead, I'm cussing on the phone. The Fed contacted the state, said, hey, don't arrest him. We hear him on the phone fussing about the gun. But I called Birdman and said, hey, man, look, get the lawyer ready. I'm about to go terminate it. Hurry up and bone out. He said, what, the gun was dirty? I said, it was Calier. They took that conversation with me and Birdman and gave me a life sentence, along with my co-defendant, the other guy in the cell talking about, right?
Right.
So I looked at that. Cash Money is all through my paperwork, but nobody from Cash Money got arrested. So I said this here. Juke might have was the one in the streets doing all the bad stuff. Right. Well, Gotti over here doing illegal, getting the money over here, and it's separate. But so having to just CMG tied together.
Okay.
Juke is a member of CMG. You want a member of, y'all said,
hold up, tread lightly.
I know that,
CMR for life.
I know that, but what I'm saying, on paperwork.
Allegedly, but hold up, allegedly, I'm the one that invested in Cash Money. I'm the one that started that stuff, so what you talking about?
But look, what Juke on paperwork is a member of CMG.
Right.
Like really broke down, so they can still say it coming from CMG.
Yeah, they can say, listen what I'm saying. You can say it come from CMG, but the problem is, who in CMG did it come from?
Juke.
Thank you. So what I'm saying, what Gotti got to do with that?
He owns CMG.
But you just said it come from Juke.
I know what you said, they got to do that investigation.
No, that's just it. If all of us right now, we all got our podcast together. But just because if I do something wrong, they ain't going to get all of us. Now, all of us, they ain't going to be popping. But if my name's sticking out, gangster. Gangster the one that didn't bring the beer. We got all the liquor, but he didn't bring the beer. So
bullshit, man.
I'm the one that the people going to be focusing on. But the show must go on.
True. Yeah.
That's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but I don't think they're going to get up. Because, bro, Gotti is too rich right now. He got too much influence, too much power.
Yeah, what you think about that situation?
It's a different story. That's some sex and some stuff that he rubbed them white folks the wrong way. So that's what they meant with Diddy. All right, come on down off the high horse. Come on, time to go lay down.
Right.
Gotti is black on black.
Black on black.
It's the truth. Go ahead on, get rid of genocide. That's y'all on people. Y'all work with that. But when we need to fill up some more beds, we'll lock a few more of y'all up to make us look good so I can get in the White House. That's what they do.
Yeah.
But with Diddy, that's a whole different story, bro. With the baby oil. You buy baby oil?
Nah, I know you no baby oil.
So you was locked up with Big Meech?
Yeah, good dude.
So how y'all relationship is now? You talk to him or?
I missed the call twice. Big Meech come on the compound. I didn't know who he was. He was a guy. Yeah. You just got to keep in mind, I got like in '98, and you know, I was started hearing about when I first heard about BMF was in 2005. So they were talking about BMF, but I was so far stuck into the prison trying to survive and stay alive in the prison. I wasn't really worrying about, you know, too much outside of cash money. As long as I saw cash money sit on that video screen, I was good because I know I'm gonna go to the commissary. I know I'm gonna be able to take care of my children. Blase. So when Big Meech comes to the compound, he's with this guy that I did time with years ago, and they had this control movement thing going on, right? So they call the movement, I should walk fast to get to where I gotta go to get back. So this guy was like, "Hey, gangster," I was like, "Man, who are you?" I said, "I don't remember you." I kept going. And later on, it was like, "Man, no Big Meech on the compound." I said, "Well, how you look?" They say light skin with braids. I said, "Yo, he was with that dude earlier." I said, "Oh, I must have made the dude look bad because Meech was standing next to him." So for dinner time, they said let us just hang out around the child hall and up and down the walk. And guys would stop at Big Meech every time he made him and I was making eye contact. So he trying to make his way to me. So I talked to the first guy and I dabbed him off, kicked it with him. So he introduced me and Big Meech. We go on the record, y'all. We started talking. And I remember telling him, I said, "Bro, your name and reign, so you got to start doing a lot of positive stuff." He's like, "Man, I must study the youngster how to sell drugs, get away with it." I said, "You just saying that because you're bitter right now, because you caught you, you're in jail." So we talk, and I watched this man go from one guy on his compound to 25 people with BMF on the left side of their neck, and they get BMF with ENT on their neck. And I was shocked that some guys in blood calls were jumping out riding with Big Meech. They would go eat, they go work out, every day same routine. So this guy from New York gets into the DC guys. It's like 25 DC guys. These old heads come from the pen. So they got into a fight on the yard. It was like 5 of them fight about 25 BMF. So when they called a move, one of my Muslim brothers from Philly, he going in the mattress, he get the knife. I was like, "What you doing?" He said, "Man, nah, such got to handle this." So I'm like, "Man," and I'm cool with me. So I get both of my knives, and Meech was next door to me. So I come out and say, "Meech," I said, "Look, it's not about to be no gang fight because a lot of guys from the South came together to go help Meech fight. But the problem was, these are youngsters, they think they go in gang fight, and these old heads got knives." So as me and Meech walking up the walk, the guy who started in front of us, the lieutenant stopped us. He said, "What's your name?" I said, "William." He said, "I did get my ID." He said, "What's your name?" He said, "Flannery." He said, "Turn around." The way you go back, I was happy because I had the knives on me. And that was the last time I saw Big Meech.
So the internet was trying to put y'all against each other at one point in time, right?
Let me tell you something. At the time, I didn't know the magnitude of social media, right? So this is the youngster out here in Atlanta, too. He made a video saying Meech beat me up, bruised my face up and all this. And he had a picture, crop, right? So I called home and I was like, "You all right?" I was like, "Yes, ma'am." Why? She said, "They said you went to the hospital." I said, "No." So I called, so one of my homeboys, people were texting me, I hadn't heard from him in a while. Then I called Slim. He was like, "Man, you all right?" I said, "What's up?" "Oh, yeah, they said you went to the hospital." I said, "This must be serious." I say, how many views it got?" They say, "Is that like about 300-something thousand?" They say it's 1,000 thumbs up. Big Meech beat you up, and a 900 thumbs. I said, "Oh, he winning." But, bro, like me and Meech never had an argument. He a real cool dude. He like to talk down. He like to brag. He like to talk about, shoot. Come on, man. You know I'm already. Yeah, you scared me, man. They don't do that. Anyway,
everything fell down.
Okay, so anyway,
About 30, everything. Go ahead.
he just like to talk about I used to get money, I used to have fun. And like, I'm one of the only ones that could bring him out there for him to talk that, that old hip talks. But man, he a real cool, respectful dude. Like you could just come to the camera, like, look, please come on the yard, man, I want to take pictures. He gonna pull up. He love to take pictures, bro. There's plenty of pictures of us floating around on the internet.
I have a question real quick. How do you feel about his parole date coming up? Like, do you feel like it's a possibility he might parole out, or do you feel like, it may be certain circumstances that the government may want to keep him in?
No, he gonna get out. Let me say this: they got his date for next year. I honestly believe if Meese don't go to halfway house this year, it would be January. Because I had this female, she looked at the date for me, and I told her because he can get up to a year halfway house. The smart thing to do is relocate. That's what a lot of guys do. Like wherever you got caught at, usually the halfway house want to accept you there because they be like, no, you got too much influence, too much going on. We don't want to accept him here. But if he can get an address and relocate, they're gonna let him out because he been gone too long, So they not. And right now, you don't really hear about BM too much no more. You got the CMG and the Chopper City. You got my favorite artist. You got OG Giga. We popping right now. You did?
Who your favorite was?
BG my favorite artist.
BG?
My favorite artist. Favorite artist.
That's all. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
He's so strong.
I ain't stone. Go ahead.
What you think about that Diddy shit going on? I feel like Diddy gonna get off.
Yeah, man.
He gonna drop. He knows too much, bro.
All right, I read the paperwork on that. I have the indictment on that. Diddy gave the government some information as well.
That's what.
Some footage and stuff as well. I don't believe he's going to be stuck in prison, though.
Yeah.
No, I don't believe he's going to be stuck. R. Kelly not stuck in prison. He got a release date. He don't have life.
What do you got?
He had 20 years somewhere, another 10 somewhere. Somebody said it'd be 30. I thought it was 20 in different states where they ran in concurrent. But he don't have life sentence. Yeah, he old, but a lot of people who in jail look at it like, as long as I got a release date, man, I keep myself in shape. A lot of us, we preserve in prison. Like, look at now. I'm 49 years old. You got guys in their 20s and 30 look a hot mess. Not for real, but I be like, boy, how old are you? You know what I'm saying? So, you ought to take care of yourself, but I don't believe Diddy gonna be stuck. And like, he know too much. It's a lot of high. That's why a lot of them people were stepping down from a lot of them. Cause them dudes, man.
Bro, hold on, we gotta do a thing. People in the comments always wanted to take these shots. So.
All right, my bad. Let's get it.
Let's go. Cold beer.
Not out for debate.
Bowling
debate.
He called on quick.
That's right.
Hey, how you feel about Wayne not headlining the Super Bowl?
Yeah, see, that's why I like it. I don't like it. I respect it, but I don't like it. When you look at it from the business perspective, because the Super Bowl is a family-friendly event, and Kendrick Lamar's song real hot, he deserves it. But on the other hand, when you look at the body of work Wayne have done, Wayne have influenced generations. To this day, this young generation still know who Lil Wayne is. And it's at home, like New Orleans, like, come on. But like I said, I respect it because when you look at the business side, Kendrick earned it.
How many family-friendly songs do Kendrick Lamar really have that, everybody know that they not like us because it was a controversial song.
Mm-hmm.
But after that song, then what?
That's all you need.
You gotta be a Kendrick Lamar fan.
No.
To actually know what's going on.
No.
Yeah.
Now let me show you something. Now you notice like with rappers, right? They gonna put the bull crap out first for the concert. Then they gonna hit us with the hit, right? That's what Kendrick Lamar, he gonna put us with a little bull crap, a little certain. But when they not like us hit, watch how the stadium erupt.
But do you think it would be respectful for him to bring Lil Wayne in on the segment like how when Dr. Dre, Eminem, 50 Cent, and all, because 50 Cent said that they didn't even want him in the Super Bowl. But Eminem said that if 50 Cent can't come, he's not coming.
Mhm.
So do you think out of respect and to pay homage to Lil Wayne that Kendrick Lamar should do a opening act with him?
He should, but if I was waiting, I wouldn't do it. That's the ultimate disrespect. Because you know, with these rappers, it's always a mad day. And with Kendrick have over Wayne, I had to bring you out in your own city. I wouldn't dare do it.
So you grew up around Master P?
You heard Master P slap me?
Yeah, I heard that.
Yo, P born and raised in the Cali Project, but when P thought that I was the one that took his cousin's life, it was a rumor that it was 15, 30,000, 100,000.
Right.
So he wanted to talk, and I had told his cousins to come. And I said, "You tell him if I catch him, we go hold court." What that mean in the streets mean that we gonna shoot it out. With, you know, like I'm the jury and all that. We going to trial. So he wanted to talk, and I didn't want to talk because I felt like he had too much money and influence, and that I was playing so dirty down my way with the police, where they'll pull you over, you think you're getting arrested for one thing, and they'll bring you to your enemy. So yeah, you know, so I was like, no, I ain't doing that. But P, the reason why I talk about this, because P talked about this in a Fed magazine. He mentioned about this stuff, but I've never seen P in person.
Oh, really?
Never.
What about C Murder? You know, met him?
No. Let me tell you something. A lot of C Murder fans got mad when I told them C Murder wasn't stepping, he wasn't in the street like that. And what I meant by that was this: C Murder's like 2 years older than I am, but C Murder was in the army. C Murder was off, you know, doing his what you call that, due diligence for our country. And a lot of people were shocked because I always say C Murder went backwards.
Okay.
He made it big. You selling millions of albums. You want to come back to the hood. You want to lay your rhymes out. Man, you made it out of. He's from the Cali Project. All those guys you see on that document, on that YouTube thing with C Murder, me and those guys once ran together. Then we with the wall. And I tell people, if C Murder was in the streets when we was in the streets, you would see one thing about hoods. Okay, what's up, boy? Shout out to my boy Splash. He in the building.
I love you.
I love you too, bro. I love you too, bro. You got a big chicken now. You ain't got the little chicken? You ain't bring that from Carolina? All right. So think about this here. Y'all think about this. Think about this now. Everybody, well, the way we came up, when we go to the club, everybody gonna want to take pictures. So show me a picture where C Murder with these killers back in the days. But I guarantee you, I can show you a picture with the Calio and me with them back in the day. That's why I tell people, no, C Murder wasn't in the streets like that back then. But now I don't know what he did while I was in the Fed. I can't talk about that. I can only talk about when we was out there, when it wasn't safe to walk the streets, when it wasn't safe with the Calio and Magnolia, he wasn't with that.
All right, so what's the deal with Boosie? Why he saying a lot of shit about you on the internet for a while back?
Shout out to Boosie, man. Boosie my cash cow. Boosie will kick my not for real. Boosie kicked my career off. So and I tell people this, I don't look at stuff in a tunnel vision.
Right.
I respect it because Boosie have heard stories about me. They don't know me personally. But when Boosie went to Angola, I got people in Angola that love me, respect me, that I should say, make sure he's okay. So they told me where he was being housed at. So, you know, when I come home, Boosie had the internet in the headlock. Boosie had all the street guys loving, looking up to him. So when I just started pointing out, speaking out, and he helped me. And now people start, so that's what I started saying when people chant, because when he went at me on Twitter, a lot of his fans was rocking with me.
Right.
So I don't get upset about that stuff because I know I made them rules and broke the rules. But Boosie just was acting out what he was brought up, you know, from seeing people before him, what they taught him, stand on this, and that's what he's standing on.
He looked up at you though, he was saying.
I understand it. That's why. But like I say, I used to work for Tyson warehouse. I was working from 11 at night, 7 in the morning. So when Boosie came at me on Vlad, I just took my cell phone and made a video, and it went crazy.
Yeah.
So it's like, whoa, so I got myself something here. So I just kept doing it. I had 5,000 people in my live one time. When I saw this was the move, I quit my job. I said, I'm about to be on this internet. I'm about to cut up on here and tell them people run me over here or till I fall off.
So how did it feel after, you've been in the streets and in prison and get out to work a 9 to 5? How did it feel to work a 9 to 5?
Man, it felt good. Let me tell you what it felt good. And actually, in the girl, she was driving crazy, so I had to work overtime to duck her. Nah, man, let me tell you, cause let me do what she did me, bro. When I got out of jail, nobody taught me how to lock the phone. They didn't teach me nothing about these phones. So I'm thinking like jail. Don't touch my stuff, I'm not gonna touch your stuff. So I would have my cell phone on a window ledge and like 3, 4 in the morning, she up all in my phone. I don't know this, I'm sleep snoring. And this female that was trying to help me said, hey, it's a country girl be calling my phone, playing on my phone. I said, well, it's the woman I live with, she be asleep. So she recorded the girl. I was like, man, you down bad. You be calling that girl, playing on that girl's phone. So yeah, bro, she did that crazy stuff. So yeah, but I done had some wild sisters up here home, bro, but it been fun too because I've learned this stuff, right? Right after this day, bro, it's been 2.5 years and my phone been on silent. I don't even put my phone on ringer, no matter what.
So backtrack a little bit. So Master P, C Bird, Silk Shop. So now one of them were really in the street. You know, the rumor Master P had dope and shit.
P had work. P was, when I say went in the streets.
I want to add that you're ripped them out.
Don't be so, be more careful.
Yeah, well,
Go ahead.
So you know,
I apologize.
I saw Slim say, you the other hustler that made it beside Master P and Baby.
Mm-hmm.
So that all that real.
Yeah.
So I have a question to piggyback off of that. So when you did an interview with that, what is it, Vlad TV?
Right.
Why do people feel like you may have been indicting Slim by some of the stuff that you were saying in the interview?
You mean Birdman?
Well, Birdman, yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people hate on me. They didn't, this is the thing. And that's why I like to rub it in their face, but I don't do it too much because just like God give it to you to take it from you. And think about this. I was like the outcast, the black sheep of the family. So it's like I come home, all the big dog was like against me. So I was like, okay, let's go. Let's go. Because I mean, I was a gangster in the street. So the internet, this is a safe place. You can't get to me. But if people really studied Birdman, he was on Big Facts. There's a podcast called Big Facts. Out here, actually. Mm-hmm. And he said himself, I'm a gangster. You play with me, you're gonna get killed. He speak on his gangster lifestyle, right? So now if he was a mogul that was like, I've left it alone, I've helped a lot of people become millionaires, I'm on this and helping the children, then I'm like, all right, cool, I ain't gonna say nothing. But if he's promoting this stuff, he's in my paperwork, this is my family, so okay, you talk about you a gangster, so this is my story. Now, but here's the thing. Not one time have I said, Birdman, come pick me up. November 4th, 1974, I killed Kevin Bryant on the corner of Magnolia and Washington with a 9mm. Never in the, so when so many people be hating on me and they don't want me to be successful and make it, they'll pick the little thing, but they know I'm Mr. Answer right back, so I like when they do that. Because now you're helping me and you're giving me more and more. Think about this, I'm not a rapper, I'm not an actor, I was a guy in the streets just like other people who, in neighborhoods, gangsters and all over. So I come to the internet and the thing was, what I learned, a lot of rappers, I'm gonna say this, but I like to put an address on them. I don't like to do that subliminal stuff. So Birdman gonna be like, my family doing life in Angola, my family doing life in the Fed, my brother here. So as long as they got somebody they could talk about and rap about to sell their story to the media, it's cool, right? So as long as these people were doing these documentaries on stories on me and the hot boy, that was cool. So it's a lot of stuff was a lie. It's like, oh, hold on. So now I'm home to tell my story. It's a problem, Like people that know Soulja Slim was rapping about me, So it's like some of the top rappers in our city talked about me. So now I tell people, you can hide history, but you can't erase it. Right. Yes, sir.
What you think about Boosie and his dog that shit?
I didn't like it because Boosie too hard for TV. You a street dude that bringing stuff to the internet, and that's just too much. And for as that lifestyle, right? I understand you not with that, you stand on what you're standing on, but don't bring it to the public. This is your daughter. Like she said, you never had to talk with me why I turned this way. So I had that one-on-one talk with her. But then I seen where they talked and hashed it out. I was like, that's pretty cool. I just didn't do a video on it.
So you think, like you say, that's my nigga too. I had to do it. But
Do it. No, I hate to do it.
But you know what I'm saying? He did it. He come up with he the last real nigga left now. But so why
Big
you
facts.
glad and send him up with it with the questions and the shit and put him on blast? You know what I'm saying though?
No, let me tell you why. And I tell people because a lot of people get on Vlad and say he the police, he did it. But think about this. Vlad asked some questions that a lot of us as fans that love Boosie, that like when Boosie cut up, we want to hear. So now the thing is, when Vlad asks those questions, it's up to the person he's interviewing to answer them. Because Vlad can ask all kind of questions all you want, but if you be like, nah, I want to talk, like prime example, Tony Yayo would stay getting on his butt.
Yeah, you do.
Tony Yayo gonna stop in his tracks. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like some people get on there, but if you study Boosie, the reason why I know this is because he was my internet op and he helped me get a lot of money. So I studied Boosie. He contradicts himself a lot. You know, so I was like, okay, you know, so it's like, all right, cool.
So was he really in protective custody? Or was that a rumor going around?
Now you trying to get Boosie custody again. All right, let me just say this here. Okay, let me say this here. I don't know who all street guys here, right? But he had a state charge.
Right.
He got in trouble at that prison. They sent him to Angola, right? So while you're in Angola, you still fighting your murder charge. So you're not going to be in population fighting this open charge around all these convicted people. So when they put him in Angola, they had to put him in a special unit. Let's do that.
Right.
Because I don't want him to be mad with me, because that's my homie now.
Okay.
We call and text one another now. So I don't want him to be upset with me. So he was in a special unit from all the other killers. Because if you remember, he on Black, he said it's killers, gangster dudes that look up to me, that step for me. So this come out his mouth. So he know I got people that love me, that, you know. So, but like I said, we just became good friends now. I don't want to mess that up. But he wasn't housed with the killers.
So how did y'all squash?
We didn't squad. I just be trolling. We ain't squad. No, we ain't squad. You know what? A lot of these guys be want to talk to me, want to kick with me, because they know I ain't do nothing wrong. Because if they had a shot like that, they'd have took it themselves.
Right.
But they going off with the mask. Oh man, that wasn't cool. And then because I admitted, because I made those rules when we were sitting there, I told Birdman all of them, if the police, if you notice this, like a lot of these youngsters now, you see them in the interrogation room. Back in my time, that was unheard of. We not going to an interrogation room. Because if you go in that interrogation room, and you might have stood on, you might have stayed silent in there. But the problem is always going to be a doubt. You're going to give somebody something to talk about because you went in there.
Right.
Brother, people got me from juvenile jail, 1992, for homicide. And the man called my mother before he bring me in that room. And he was like, he thought my mother was going to have me to cooperate. And my mother said, tell him you want a lawyer, you don't want to talk. And that man said, you're going to be trouble first, you get married. I was like, all right, cool. So you're never going to see no footage of us back in the days in the interrogation room.
Right.
How do you feel about people snitching on their dead homies?
I think that's a cool way, because the homie, especially if it's a homie now, if it's a homie that died mad with you, he might be in the grave ticked off. But if it's a homie that died that was like, bro, you my bro, I love you, take care of my family, my children, go free. You know?
Would it still be considered snitching?
This is what I always say this here. And this is why I don't be mad with Bird and none of my people.
Right.
Because see how I'm in this room right now with y'all. And we have the regular talks. But Bird, BG, Jude, nobody don't know what are we talking about. Because I could tell y'all, well, man, I only talk to the cold beer, hot liquor, blah, blah. But is that true? Is that all I said? How we know that's all you said? So the key down and doubt, you should have never went in there.
Facts.
That's why I don't be upset with people. And then I'm at a point where everything is done and been through all that already, and I just had to be free.
Let me ask you a
But
question.
it is snitching though. Don't go in that room.
So, let me ask you a question. What was the picture they had going around? They said one of your homeboys sending your lap or some shit.
Sir, that's the original hot boy. That's another thing. And then in this day and time, there's a lot of people that are homophobic, but a lot of them sneak and mess around with these homosexuals out here. Like This is the thing that I can't understand for the life of me. Like they all bash these Rainbow Coalition people, but yet you will follow them on social media. Like I got a homie down there. I don't know if he that way, but he keep a lot of women in his. He go like 10,000 people. What his name? Who? Who be having all the followers in his thing on Instagram? The homie from New Orleans. You having 10,000 people in his life. Keith Cows. So some people think he might be on the funny side, but my thing be, they'll call him, address him as being gay, this and this, but you got real street dudes following him.
Right.
So women, y'all want to bash the gay, but they think y'all want to follow him. Right? What's going on here? So I learned now with this young generation, like just stay out there way. I watch what they do, they move, but looking back on it, you be like, yeah, man, we shouldn't have done that. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, it's there, and that was my brother. You know, somebody. See, we were sure of ourselves back then.
That's just still embarrassing when you go back and look at it now, though, right? You're like, man.
I don't look at it as embarrassing because I know how we got out and how we played in the city and how we moved. But when I look at it with going on this generation and now, I'll be like, yeah, you should have never done that. That one there, boy, you down bad. Like somebody asked me, they say, what's the worst out of your homeboy sitting on your lap, a baby kissing Wayne, and Young Thug wearing a dress?
I don't think a man should be kissing a man.
A man should be wearing a dress.
So they was like, what's one of the worst? So I forgot which one I said, but
So which one you think worse now?
What if he try to come and sit on your lap now? This generation. So how you feel about it?
I'm gonna tell him to sit up here.
Oh,
And I'm gonna keep it. Nah, for real. I don't know, bro, because I have other pictures with other hot boys we in the club. I just say put them out because I ain't want nobody to attack them. But it's like 20 of us in this club, and some of the original hot boys sitting on each other's laps, and we all in the pictures doing this, right?
why y'all do that shit, man? I just want to know.
Because it was like, where else we going? We all try to get in this picture. So
Okay, y'all trying to
dog.
get in the picture.
Yeah, we was all in the pictures. It wasn't like no, like we. What you say? Oh, it wasn't like no slick homosexual activities going on.
Okay.
But like I said, this is young generation. Oh, y'all don't play, man. Y'all be picked up. No, because I wore a dress to kill one of my enemies before. That's why I don't judge a lot of stuff. That's why I just pay attention. I participate what's going on, but I knew what I did before too with that. So
But you did it in disguise. He did it for a rap video. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
But I heard he did it in honor of one of his people or something. Or
I don't know. I don't think it's a good look though. You know what I'm saying? You say you did it for what's name, but to me, my opinion on it,
right, yeah,
not a good look. Yeah.
See, that's good when we can have a topic of discussion with situations like that. Here's another thing. Doug is a man that felt like, I'm sure of myself, I know who I am, so I'm gonna do this here, and dare somebody to say something.
Yeah,
he did it.
Nobody would say that.
He did it, that's what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, you gotta know you though. You know he ain't gay, so I mean,
Right,
why would people say he gay bother him?
here's another thing. Look at a lot of these actors, what he's dressing in these movies.
Yeah, they do.
I think they be selling their soul on that.
All of them.
I think they
Kevin Hart said he would never do it, but he did it. You know what I'm
Dave
saying?
Chappelle said he ain't do it, but they found a picture of him with one on too.
So
They found a picture with him on.
Who?
Dave Chappelle, I promise you they found a picture with him. It was a movie they saw me in some shit.
Now, Kevin Hart, Tyler Perry, Mark Lawrence.
damn near every day.
Yeah, all these
they
people, yeah.
like, and I feel like they're wrong.
but here's the question though, for all just for the men. Doing a movie, if they offer you $45 million to kiss a man, would you do it?
Nah,
I'm not doing it.
I can't do it. They can keep the money.
They got to think about it on the road where Will Smith got fucked by that man. Ain't no way.
You'll do
It
it.
was like one of his first movies.
Yeah.
They broke back now.
It's 45.
So you'll take that 45.
Yeah, give me 45. Come here, boy. Yeah, give me 45, man. 45 million? Yeah, I'm kissing.
So you can play a role.
I can't do it, bro.
Hold on, what you?
Who would you kiss for 45 minutes?
No, I don't have nobody in particular. Then they gonna say, "Oh, you got a man crush." You trying to set me up? Yo, she got.
So you play the role like on what's real man name? Who played? He played a rapper. Then he messing with the what's name? Nah.
Nah, I wasn't Uncle Murder, I don't think.
Lil Murder. You talking about
Who's murder? What that is?
he never watched that.
Nah.
It was a down low rapper, really. Yeah, down low rapper. You play a role like
Nah, I ain't doing too much now. No, slow down. No, cause this, no. Yeah, that's 45 million for the kids. Yeah, we all said our show. No. Moses, we sit down. Moses, sit down, please.
Who the man is for 45 minutes. I mean, it got to
He said it now.
but it has to be limitations on it. That's just like them saying you don't kiss. Okay, what if they say if you kiss Jonelle, I give you 45 million.
Who is that?
Netta and Charles, and Netta.
your kids Holiday Heart?
For 45 million. Yeah, how
He
they
said no matter
Yeah, give me 45.
I don't believe you'll
But
do it
look,
for real.
Let me show you something. This y'all gotta look at this here.
No way.
Hold on, let me show you something. See, that's what I'm telling y'all young generation. Y'all better pass that money up. But that's still young. So let me just say this here. Because then y'all still be later on be praying to God for get some money. And I understand all money ain't good money. I understand that, right? But the thing is this here. Y'all be quick to say that, but then when y'all be praying, for those who are religious, be praying to God and say, well, I gave you opportunity right there, you didn't take it. But here's the thing. When you say kiss, you talk about tongue kissing or just a kiss?
You're wrong. What is a pet?
45 minutes for the pet? Where you brother?
I don't believe you do
How
it.
about a boy flip gun?
But you really got a point though, because you know, like mafioso style in different cultures.
They kiss on the jaw.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
But it's a kiss though. You know what
Right.
I mean? So you write about, you know what I mean? Like for your baba, if you spiritual and shit, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Splash is a little too hard right now. He just gave a good analogy just now.
No, listen.
He just gave us what you hear what he said? Tell him what you said, bro. Tell him what you just said. Break it down to him, bro. He said, what about the mob kiss him on the jaw?
We have to understand when you talk about a kiss, like in different cultures, in different ways of life, a kiss is a kiss. So like, what if it's a brother that's my brother and it's a peck on the jaw? Listen to me, G. I ain't done saying what I'm about to say. It could be a kiss on the crown of your head. You deal with what I'm saying? Like in certain cultures, that's not viewed how we view it.
Say, watch this here.
But we talking about like on the lips.
We're talking about lip kissing.
We talking about lip kissing.
Yeah, okay, listen, but let me ask you, when you say lip like it's it's one of them, it's a difference.
It's a difference.
Yeah, it's different. A pet.
Yeah,
Different from a
exactly.
pet in
Yeah.
actually taking your tongue and.
I ain't doing
Yeah.
down one on. I can't do down one
I'm
on.
with you on that, guys. But I don't know if I'm gonna do
But when
it.
it cross your mind, will you be like, will you give it a little split second, like, I do 45? No, I ain't gonna do it.
Now I wouldn't even think about it. I just turn it straight down.
If it's a spiritual scene, you know what I mean? And I'm speaking to my baba, I'm speaking to a mentor, you know what I mean? You feel me? But on some demasculating,
Nah, you know,
on some demasculating black, you know what I mean, manhood. Nah, we ain't selling that soul like that. I'm sorry.
So what's your intake on Lil Woody and Charleston White since they don't fell out? You think they're doing that for the internet or
Yeah, that shit right there, for the algorithm, man.
what you think about it?
you never know with Charleston White, but I will say this here. I believe that's real. And the reason why I believe it's real, because I know both of them. I talked to both of them, and I know the situation was going on.
The Barry White nigga, the nigga that was managing, fake managing. You remember the little skinny little black dude from Colombia that was running? That's when he was leaving. It started because the manager jumped over the wood.
Oh yeah, I heard him talking about that. Yeah, Barry, the dude, good, right? Yeah. So certain stuff like that, I just stay out the way because it's like you got to pick your poison with that. Like both of them hot on the internet. Both of them you gonna get some money with. So it's like if you side with him, he gonna be ticked off with you. You side with he gonna.
So when Charleston White be giving you props, you think he be doing it trying to be funny, or you think he be serious about it?
You give me props?
Yeah, he was saying he might have been on somebody's show. He was like, yeah, he just like me. I mean, he'd tell like saying some shit like that because of the rumors that he done heard. Do you think he's trying to be funny with the situation, or you think he just?
It might be a mixture of both, but I don't see a lot of stuff. I don't take. Put that over something, brother.
Yeah.
Thank you. That cigarette tear me up. No, I don't smoke it, yo.
I don't either.
Then I don't like all in my clothes. I might go around and like, yeah. She like, oh, you smell like cigarette. He messing up my flow.
Around a little,
Yeah. So yeah, I don't read too much into what Charleston White do as far as to me, because you find yourself like wondering, like, is he attacking me? What are you doing? What's going on? So it might be somewhere where it could have been sincere, because he has sincere moments. But I just appreciate my name be coming up out of his mouth, because he have a very big. Let me tell you, so when I first come on Charleston White was one of the first one to embrace me in Texas. He invited me to come out here to Atlanta, actually, to a school to talk to the youth.
Okay.
And when I post a picture with him and a lot of people like, man, we mess with you, but we don't like him. But now the same people who say that love him now.
So how would you say that youth look up to you? They look up to you now like an icon, or they see you as like a gangster? They want to follow your gangster footsteps or the footsteps you're doing now, trying to be righteous?
Both. And that's why, and I learned this. Me and Crypto G, we was on our podcast one night, and this lady came in. She was like, hey, I learned about your channel from my students. She said, I'm a high school teacher, and my students watch your channel. I'm like, whoa. So it let me know, we got to lead by example. A lot of us come home from prison be like, man, I want to do right. I want to do this. And then some Muslims either, we come home, we take the kufi off, and now we running around. We forget about the religion. We forget about a lot of stuff. So with me, that's first for me, my religion, and then my nonprofit. Because I know people are watching. I know people, and I know that I can still lead people the wrong way.
Right.
So I'm careful what I do, because I really want to help. Because I gotta tell people, when I come up in the streets, I never had nobody to sit down and tell me, if you go to jail, this was going to happen, get in trouble. Everybody who I looked up to, who I was around, taught me how to be a gangster, taught me how to get away with the crime. So that's why I'm always careful what I say and what I do on my channel. I know I'm an influencer now.
Listen, you know, big Cash Money fan, I listen to you. That music all my life. What was so special about, I don't know if I'm saying it right, what is it, Willow Street, how you call it?
Willow Street?
Willow Street. Yeah,
Wild Willow.
Yeah, I all the boys talk about this street.
That's where all the gangsters hung. Listen,
Booby talk about it.
that's where all the gangsters, that's where we hung at. Like, we got a homie named B Stupid, he in the Fed now. He lived on Willow in Washington. My mother lived in Willow Courtyard, Magnolia Slim, or Mercedes, or Mr. Moncello.
Yeah.
Everybody on Willow. It's like, that was just, that's like 8 blocks outside the project.
Magnolia, right?
It's on Magnolia Street,
Okay.
but it's not in the project, it's a neighborhood. So,
Okay. So when I went to New Orleans, right? No, this is the music when I was coming up. So I went to New Orleans, even though the projects are kicked down, the spot they put me in on Airbnb was right beside the old jail, the new jail right here.
mm-hmm.
I kind of got to see what they meant by the cuts. I watched this dude trap all day. You would think he stayed right here, but he didn't. He'll go back up to that cut. He licks will come up here, he'll pop out. You see him every now and then. I'll tell you something about that cut when I went. Y'all might think I'm lying. I seen about 50 different people come out this cut, bro. Like different times of the day. It was just crazy, but I see my man every time one of his licks come through that part, right in front of Airbnb, he'll pop out, look back 3 times, he gone tomorrow. He gone. And I was gonna go through the cut. I said, nah, I ain't fucking with that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like dealing with a skit with a ball if I can skid about in the same spot, but my cut across. I didn't want to go in the cut, but I know how it ran in the whole time. Ain't no telling where he went when he went through that cut. He could have been anywhere through there, man. So those hallways were cut for some real, you know what I'm saying, historic to me, because that's what I always came up on, hallways and cuts, you know what I'm saying? Chuck rapping about it, BG rapping about it, Wayne, everybody's rapping about the cuts in New Orleans. So I went for the cuts for real.
Bro, I was heartbroken when I heard they was tearing the project down. When I come home, I stayed in New Orleans, I think 2 days before I came out to Texas, but I passed by the Magnolia. I didn't want to even go and look at the new stuff. I was like, that ain't Magnolia. Yeah. But on the other hand, I'm happy they tore the project down, because now you have a situation like this. Well, what's going on today, because I feel like I am Magnolia. So now with these other gangsters who I'm at odds with, they feel like they Magnolia. So now we have a thing is you tough, I'm tough, we're gonna choose the toughest.
Right.
So now you got more bloodshed. Just behind one project, black people think we only project left for the white folk. Because when we go to jail, the next man up. So we be claiming these hoods, these blocks and all that. And then when I tell people when I first come on, I say, bro, we didn't have to check anything. I say, bro, I was gonna check in the airport and that's it because whenever like checking in with a dude, when the police put up, you gonna run too.
So they told you you had to check in when you came home?
No, they wouldn't play with me like that. Good brother don't mean soft brother. I let it, bro, because like I say, I don't never want to go back to jail, bro, but I ain't gonna let nobody just do what they want to do. That ain't
Yeah, I heard a lot of stories about everybody.
I just, no, they done. No, not me.
So how old were you when you first went in?
23 years old.
So how you feel when you facing all that time when you stepped your first foot in the gate?
I always thought I was gonna get life in Angola because I knew the life I was living, but I was just shocked that it was the feds.
Right.
Because I was one of the youngest one to be charged with that's a king, that's what Big Meech was charged. That's a kingpin charge. 848, continuing criminal enterprise. So I would later realize why I was hit with that because they knew in their mind he knew about a lot of homicide, he knew about a lot of stuff. So we're gonna put this on and try to see if he's gonna break. So they wanted me to confess to investing in cash money records in my paperwork.
Okay.
And I was like, no, I ain't doing that. So they waived it. So if I wanted to come back later on and cooperate down the line, they would let me do it.
What year was that?
I fell in 98, March 6th. I got locked up March 6th, 1998. That's the year they got the deal. They got the deal in March 30th of 1998. Same month I got locked up by the Fed, they got the $30 million deal.
How you feel that at that time? At that time, dog, somebody going back to that moment.
I felt like I took one for the team. I was cool with that because I was like, my people, because here's the thing. I had pled guilty to 20 years. So while I'm waiting to get 20 years, a guy wore a wire on my counterfeit in jail. My counterfeit was to brag about murders, and that's how I got life. So I always thought I was going to get out when I'm like 38, 30, so but yeah.
You know what I mean?
Them people tricked, man. Some people gave me life for 2 murders I was never indicted, never charged for.
You got an award
Yeah.
from, was it from your nonprofit, or like a reform award, or what was that they had given you, like a plaque?
Oh, in Milwaukee, they flew me out to Milwaukee. Shout out to Milwaukee. And they gave me they had a felons ball. Shout out to Pimp McKen and Meech. They flew me out there and gave me a place. Supposed to see me, I gotta get my trophy too. For people who've been home and really, living by example, really trying to help the youth. Because you got a lot of people that come home and, when we used to see the youngsters on the porch and we used to ride the Mercedes, riding all the foreign whips. Now we see these youngsters driving it, so in our mind we like, that's supposed to be me, this is my block. I'm gonna get back in the game. Ain't why I'm going back to jail. So I'm one of the ones that at a young age I had Mercedes Benz and jewelry and all that stuff. So I'm not caught up on that now. Would I like to have it? Of course. But I'm not stuck like I can do without that. Because I asked for 2 things. I asked God to let me out while I'm healthy and alive and give me a chance to take care of my mother. And I got that now. My mother lived with me. So
Is that what made you start your nonprofit?
no. I started that when I was in prison.
Okay. And give us a little background of your nonprofit.
Somebody stole my name too. I should call him. I should always ask Birdman about certain homies. Like, oh man, he's still hugging the block. It was no event. Oh man, he's still on the block. He's still hugging the block. I said I like that, hug the block, because what I wanted to do was, to an extent, the inmates still have a hold and still kind of run the streets. And what I mean by that is, take Big Meech for example. Big Meech is still loved and respected out here. So if there's a war in the hood, these youngsters, and you just imagine you can get that little FaceTime thing where you got a center where you can bring these little youngsters to the center and they hear about BMF, they hear the song, I think of Big Meech. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So now they're like, oh, this is a dude right here talking to. So now if we can get Big Meech to come to the school area and talk to these youngsters about staying out of trouble, I would like that'd be pretty cool. So I put a curriculum together for stuff like that, and also to help them, show them how to open up a bank account, show them how to do an LLC. Because when I was incarcerated, I had talked with BG Auntie, and she told me, she said, I'm trying to trademark the logo, and she was like, this lawyer it was anywhere from $5,000 to $13,000. It was a high number. I said, I got the forms. You can do that. It's only $300. I said, they tax us for our ignorance and for their time. I said, oh, you just take your time and get the forms. You can learn how to and do all your LLC, do all that stuff. So when I put the curriculum together, I also started. I had a class while I was in prison. It was a non-residential drug class, and I had a class that was called "I Can Go Home and Be a Better Man." So I will prepare inmates, even though I had a life sentence, I will prepare them to get them right to go home and get themselves together. And the judge and everybody, my counselors, everybody knew about it because they would send updates to the courts what I was doing. So when I got out, I was like, I want to do the nonprofit. I kept talking about hug the block. So when I got ready to do the paperwork, they wouldn't give me an EIN number because they said somebody in Milwaukee or somewhere already had it. And I was like, man, and I was talking to my Muslim brother, he out here, shout out to Jihad, he out here in Atlanta. I was like, man, these youngsters, they need us. I said, that's it, they need us. So I named my nonprofit, They Need Us.
Okay. And you said somebody stole it then?
No, they stole my first one, was called Hug the Block. Because you know a lot of youngsters like to hug that block. They like, we just call, what's going on with such a? Oh man, he's still on the block. He hugging that block. He hugging it. He still hustling. Stuff like hug the block. But somebody stole it from me. I had the logo, everything. So I went with They Need Us because it was like, you know what, the youngsters really need us anyway. So I went with that. And like every year, even though I don't celebrate holidays or birthdays because of my religion, I don't allow my nonprofit to do that. So every year I give away toys. They still got the center where the Magnolia was at. So every year I give toys there. Yeah. Every year.
Yeah.
So look,
I thought you was gone.
look, no, this, no, I know she can't get in trouble.
Here we go with the bull.
So look, man.
Hey, pass that shit. I'm trying to hold the damn microphone on here.
Y'all be 45, right?
40, bro, 40.
Y'all be 45.
Okay.
That's what I confessed to, but go ahead.
I know what's going on. So look, y'all be 45.
Mhm.
I know you told me one dude reached out to you when you were home. Ain't nobody tried since you been home.
No, because I tell people this. I know there's still enemies. I know there's nephews, uncles, brothers, whatever that want some get back, right? And that's another thing how people always say, even Boosie said it too. All that work he did, null and void. So I be telling people are like parents. That stuff be sounding good. They say, okay, man, you snitched, so everything you did in the street, that don't count no more. Okay, well, go tell a victim and family that. Go tell them dude's homeboy that he told right now, so don't kill him. It don't count no more. So, but people just say a lot of crazy stuff. But anyway, I make sure that I think for me the next man. I don't put myself in situations where my enemy or somebody will have to try me or get at me.
Right.
So that's why I always tell people, me relocating was one of the best moves I made in my life, bro. Like that's how I got to. I'm almost your size now because I was just slimming away, kicking the face.
Alright, so let me ask you a question, right? What you just said, like, to make a complete revolution, you would have to change three things, which is people, places, and things.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree?
Big facts, yes. Because if you stay in that same environment, I know one of my ops, right? One of my enemies, he in the Fed right now with life in 5. He waited 15 years to get the man back who killed his father. So it's always somebody that's waiting to catch you down bad to park you. So I know with me, if I relocate to another state, a whole other city, now I'm a tourist. I'm not a terrorist no more.
Right. And just the status of changing the tourists from a terrorist, you can live a little bit more comfortable.
That's how I live now, bro. I'm to my I'm always aware, but for the most part, bro, I be like, I go to all the restaurants around my area, everywhere. I'm going to all the restaurants.
And when you speak about what I'm saying, sitting somebody down, I like to say tuck them in the dirt bed though. You know how it can go. You know what I mean? But like doing the wrong to a person, like a lot of the times people don't understand, like it could be some shit you did 23 years ago, 27 years ago. And a person that was influenced by the person who you did it to grow up and now they want to do it to you.
Yeah.
That's deep karma type shit.
That's why that's why I tell people, I think for me and you, I'm gonna get out your way. Because I know what I do. So you know what? And I don't never want to go back to prison. So I'm gonna get out. You know what? You got that. Because I know the people got a bed waiting for all of us.
And a number if you ain't been there.
Other than prison, did you feel like karma may have came back on you in other situations, in other ways?
I don't believe in that word. I don't believe it, karma gonna come back. As a Muslim, I believe whatever happened by the will of God, good or bad. So I
Inshallah.
Alhamdulillah, Rabbi Alameen.
So
In
you
fact,
a Muslim before you enter into
yeah, I was
So-
Muslim before, but I wasn't serious with it.
Okay, so.
You got all the way on your deen and
And
out.
yeah,
So before you went to prison, and you said 40 bodies, but that you admitted to, right? So consciously, did that bother you?
no, you know what? I'm not, and I tell people this. This just my opinion now. For all you killers that's out there, I think that was the mob that came up with that. I've never had a bad dream. I've never throw up. Never like. I was so infatuated with the mob. I had a mob encyclopedia. And one time I read with a mob, when they took somebody's life, they would pluck the eyeballs out because they were scared that when people do autopsy, they thought that the person that's doing the autopsy on this dead body could see through this person, the last person that killed him. I said it's some crazy stuff. So people take a lot of stuff in wrong. That's like I want to sit down with a therapist.
Why?
Because
Why?
well, y'all must have this topic already, so.
No, I just want you to unpack that.
Because I feel like you went to school, you studied, but you never come where I come from. So you can't really identify where I come. Now, if you really was where I come, then okay, I'll sit down with you, but I'm a therapist. I'm a love doctor. Like, I can help people with their relationships and all that. That's what I do. I'm the love doctor. That's what I help people. I help them with their relationship. Yeah, man, I help, I help them with their relationship.
I'm glad you asked him again because I ain't catch it.
That's what I do.
But how?
It depends on whatever situation. I done been through so much stuff with women and relationship.
How you came to have that handle?
From talk, like people would come actually ask me about different life experiences.
Whether it was a man or a woman.
Yeah, they gonna ask me and we talk. Yeah, I saw that in prison though. I saw that from prison. I said, write people letters, right? I always would tell women this. Let me tell you what I have to tell women, bro. I said, look, you might as well date me because you know I'm in jail, you know where I'm at. Well, your man on the street, you could be laid up all night, he out in the club.
You don't know what that nigga is.
Yeah, but it worked.
You had that espresso finesse on.
Big facts. Yeah.
He said,
man, listen, no, for real, listen. My pen I was a bad boy writing them letters. Every prison I went to, I had visits. But the thing was, before I got out of prison, though, but I would never lie to a woman. I never would tell a woman, yeah, when I come home and be with you. I always tell them this, I don't know what's going on out there. I said, for me, there's a lot going on. I'm not going to promise you that I'm going to be home with you, but I'm going to look out for you.
Are you a poet?
No.
You're not. So you went in there writing them romantic letters?
Yeah, I was good with that. I was very good with writing.
So you can't be.
I guess, I mean, it depends, but if you look at some of my letters from back then, you're like, well, you a bad boy. Like, because this is what I tell people. I would tell people this all the time. Prison is an institution. What I mean by institution, you got elementary, middle, high school, college.
Facts.
If you want, it's there if you want to apply yourself. So I was one of the ones, I've always liked school from when I was around the streets. Like, baby used to make fun of me around the club because I got my GED at Delgado Community College before I got locked up. So I was going to go, I went to Delgado for 2 semesters. Just like, oh, you trying to go with that student on each other? They always crack jokes, but I always loved school. So, I've always liked to read, study, do different things. I always want to know. And I actually like to argue and debate too in prison. So I would go read something and then go
Yeah, that's that type shit.
I should do that kind of stuff, but like now I just got a little, like now, like you could tell that I've gotten old because at one time I used to have.
How old are you?
49. Thank you.
Hey, you ain't that much older than me.
He do though.
Look 50.
How old he look though? Don't he look about 50?
You said how you?
A hot mess. 49. I'm gonna say early 40.
I go for
Yeah, I can get, especially when I get my hair cut. Talk to me.
It took you a while to adjust from how the world was when you went in to how it is now.
Yeah, right.
Yes, but I was having fun with it because I was by myself. What I mean by that is this. Like when I went to Walmart, I was at the register, there was 3 women standing on the end, and they were laughing and talking, and we looking at each other. I'm like, all right, I see y'all checking me out. So, but all right. So I was like, hey, I had another talk. Y'all gonna do y'all job? It was like, oh, that's self-checkout. So I was like, oh, I apologize. I got to figure I didn't know. So one came and helped me, but I didn't know. Then, when I left the street, it was the maps. So you gotta, okay, how you get here? Now you got the cell phone telling you turn right. Like, well, what if I turn wrong? What is it gonna do? Blue, blue, blue. I said, whoa, this stuff crazy. So, and then I was by myself. Like I said, I was literally by myself, bro. So nobody wasn't helping me. I was asking people how to do stuff. So
you taught yourself like everything you do now on social media, nobody ain't have to help.
no. People help. Like that's what I'm gonna like. When I went live, is to do that hanging TV and do that variety shades. Be like, OG, press this. OG, press that. Press this. So I would ask people how to do stuff.
Right.
Like if you gave me your number and you like, man, call me anytime. You gonna start ducking me because I'm gonna blow your. Because I need to know. I don't know. So, bro, how you do this? How you do? I'm one of the ones if I don't want to ask you. I blow people like him. We started, he'd be like, man, let's do the podcast. Like, no, I don't do the podcast with you, man. I said, bro, you boring. So he the one got on the podcast show, showed us like when you go live, I've been doing it for 2.5 years. And I never know when we go live that you could put commercials on your live and still get paid on your, while you're going live. Some people think you just go live, then after that you got to fix it up to get your money. No, he taught me that. So he go take his time and research. If he don't know something, it's gonna bother him. If I don't know something, I don't care. It's just what it is. I find out later, so I know he gonna get to the. Oh, homie, I got it. What you got? Oh, we can do this. Like the editing game, he good with that. So I'm always around people. I'm gonna surround myself around somebody who want to get some money and do something positive.
All right. So what made you jump off the porch from the jump as a younger?
The environment I grew up in. But you know what? Let me say something. This is what I studied this kind of stuff. You know what people always say? I'm a product of my environment.
Right.
I don't like that word. I like to say the environment is a product of me.
Oh, unpack that. You got to unpack that right now.
Huh?
Unpack it.
What that mean?
Like speaking.
Break
Oh,
it
talk
down,
about
bro.
okay.
Break it down.
No, I gotta learn the lingo. So what I mean by this is this. Let's take the environment. Before, when people do a new development, there's nothing there, right? That they put the houses there. So this is a clean, crime-free environment, right? But when people start moving into this environment, now things about to start changing. It'll set the tone. It might be a drug-infested environment, or it might be an environment with just straight soccer moms or what have you. So I always tell people, no, the environment is a product of me because I'm gonna turn it to what I want it to be. You know, so
Control type shit.
it's the jailhouse stuff. You know what I'm saying? We sit back and we take it.
Why you gotta do that?
Because in prison, that's why I learned a lot of stuff.
With the label.
But that's why I learned everything. That's why I was able to sit down and start. Like, let me tell you what I don't like when people do.
That's what you learned a lot.
Let me tell you what irks the best when people do this. I don't like when people say this. I don't wish jail on my worst enemy. I can't stand when people say I don't wish jail on my worst enemy.
Why?
Because for number one, this is my worst enemy. Your worst enemy, you want them dead. You want them to suffer. You can't
want the
stand
worst for 'em, right?
Right. So if you use jail, for example, saying that's a bad place, then that's why I want my enemies. You know why? Because you ain't get no visit. You can't go to commissary. They're gonna hear that phone call. Yeah, I want you to go lockdown. So I don't know why when people say that, I don't wish jail on my worst enemy. That burns the best. I be like, I understand you, the nice metaphor you want to show, but it's your worst enemy. Like,
But
come on.
they really be shopping at leads when they do that. You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
They be shopping at leads.
That's a hat place, right?
Yeah, caps.
Yeah, he's saying they
Yeah,
cap.
for the cap. I like the TV stuff. Yeah, okay. I like unfold the lid.
They
Okay.
shopping at leads.
Capping good.
They
Yeah.
capping. They
Big
shopping
facts.
for caps.
Big facts.
So when you jumped off the porch, back to that. So we like catching your first body. How did it make you feel? Like was a nigga coming at you, or it was just something you had to do?
Something I wanted to do.
Something you wanted to do.
Growing up, watching these youngsters in the hood, and I always thought I was a little bad, but anyway. So when I got the gun in my hand, I was like, you know how people say, prime example, when I go to different prisons, I always tell my homie, don't bring me no clothes, none of that. Give me something sweet to eat. Give me 2 knives.
Right.
Because if I got 2 knives, it could be 5 or 10 of y'all. I think I'm tough. Let's work.
Yeah.
So it's like on the streets, when I got that gun, you know, even when you clutch it, when you pull it, the person gonna get scared, gonna run up, because nobody don't want to get shot.
Right.
So I always just felt like when I was young, and I was always small, so I always thought the power of the gun.
What was you and OG Booty relationship like?
That was like a brother to me.
He talked highly. He said somebody you on this the last name he just put out.
The interview or this documentary. Let me say something, bro. When I got shot up, I got hit up because of OG Booty Black.
How many times you get shot?
I got shot in 91 in the foot. I got shot in 94 in my side and back, and then I got shot in 96. A bullet come out of my thing, come out the middle of my chest and back here. So I got like shot 5 times on 3 different occasions. Had a colostomy bag on. I had a urine tube. I got stabbed in my chest. My lungs collapsed. That's why I tell people I've been through it all: juvenile, state, federal, car wreck. I've been through it all. You know, God had me for a reason. You know.
And you still here for a reason.
Since we know who gangster is, we know everything gangster done been through, what can we expect from Terrence in the next 2 years?
Well, the 2 years too far down. Let's do it in the next few months.
For the rest of this year,
Next few months.
what can we expect for Terrence?
My plan is to shoot my trailer for the movie Them Boys at War, based on a true story. Yeah, when I'll be with the Cali President with P. Cousins. I have a record label. I just never announced my label or my artist because he's a very good artist. He have a song with a big artist right now. And the thrill. Well, we cut the cameras off. I'll let y'all hear it. But I will say this here: the reason why I don't want to expose him because of this. Yeah, I don't want to what I got going to affect him because you got some people to be like, man, you signed to a snitch or he a rat, man. I ain't messing with you. So I don't want to hurt him. But at the end of the day, it's big people that love him. And once the deal is done, because I got a lot of stuff going on, and I'm gonna have another story for y'all because it's like all this stuff y'all talk. I'm a mastermind behind this now. But for sure, my nonprofit, that's the thing that's more important to me. The movie, I want to get into the movie. I want to get on my Tyler Perry 50 Cent stuff because I want to retire from YouTube. Yeah, I'm about sick of it. I get burnt. Like he calling me, homie, what you doing? It's like, you know how you get writer's block? Like I'm like just tired of this. Yeah, I'm burnt out on that. So yeah, I want to start doing the movies and the music. Actually, that's what I got going on now. But like I said, when we cut these cameras, I'll give y'all the exclusive. I'll let y'all know.
What kind of roles would you want to play in the movie?
No, I'm gonna be the man. See, you trying to be slick. I'm gonna be the man behind the scenes. I ain't gonna let you walk me into this. But I got a horror movie coming out.
Let me ask you a question, right?
Now I'm just playing. Yeah, so
You know that shit.
yeah, I gotta get it.
But check this out. All right, so if you need a role in the movie, could I play it?
Of course.
I'm talking about me, bro.
Yes.
What you gonna play? Brother Farrakhan?
It depends on what the movie.
Black man. Yeah. FOI.
It's going fit.
Bow tie. A hitman. Or you could have a final calls, but when it's time for you to put that work in.
Yeah, Call of Duty.
Yeah, man.
But you know,
See
I'm
that?
always doing it today, but I'm Call of Duty on
And
call.
big facts. Yeah, I like that. I like that.
So we
Or the KO.
Hold on, first, like, so the people that don't know you, what how can they find you? What platform and stuff can they reach out?
My
to?
shirt right here, I got my own YouTube channel. It's called Gangster, the original Hot Boy. I have an Instagram. It's called Terrence Gangster Williams Home. I know it's long. I didn't know, so when I come home, I just was doing stuff. I have my Facebook is Terrence Emmanuel Williams. My whole government name. I be on. We got a podcast called Up With Us Podcast with me and Crypto Jeezy.
That shit late too.
Yeah, we be having fun on there. Yeah, we be turning up. And let me say about him.
Y'all hear him, boy.
He begged me to do that. I was like, nah, man, you ain't ready for this.
I like when y'all be talking shit.
Yeah, we go ahead, yeah. People say that. But what I like,
take a shot for the coach.
yeah. No, I ain't doing that. No, I ain't. I almost got him too. I almost got him too. I followed what you were saying.
You had to figure out what he was talking about.
What I like about what Crypto Jesus did in 7 days, he got 1,000 subscribers. In 10 days, he got monetized. So now, because I'm one of the people like, if we gonna kick it, I want you to get your own money. So now he have his own channel, Crypto Jesus, where he making his own money and he's monetized. And I challenge him. I said, okay, I want to see you get this amount next month and this time, and he doing it. So, but sometimes he irritates the mess out of me when we're on a plane because he got that phone in my face everywhere we go. I don't want to be recorded 1448. But for him, it's content. For me, listen, I've been through this, that's enough now. Cut sometimes.
Stop.
Yeah, man. So
Don't do that.
yeah, bro. And then my nephew, he rapping, Hot Boy Gator from Shreveport.
Hot Boy Gator, boy, that name Gator.
Yeah, and when I went to Shreveport, when they had the 50 Cent event, he brought me there, showed me love, brought me to all the hoods.
You know how to cook, bro?
I got a cooking channel. My mother taught me how to make roast the other day.
Hey, you need to make sure to cook it. Hey, no. Before we go into the recipe, nigga, you got a cooking channel?
It's called Hanging Out with OG Giggity. Tune into Hanging Out with OG Giggity.
What's your
I can't tell you that, man. What, you know how to cook? Okay, well, we gotta do a cooking together. Yeah, I got my roll
You
and
and Slick
everything.
gonna have a cook
He
off.
said I got my roll.
Nah, for real, I got my, the thing is that,
It's not a roll, bro. It's not a roll.
you do? Apron? I got my apron. Man, you know what I meant, man. No, for real, look on my channel, it's called, or the battle one day. It's going low.
But what's that?
Yeah, you know what I'm gonna say, my roll, but my apron is called Chef OG Giggity.
Hey,
It's called Hang with OG.
y'all people listen, bro. Y'all people,
We gotta close out.
Y'all
We
cook
got a
this.
statement where we say, where we ask you, how have your experience been on COVID? How was it? So, how have your experience been on COVID? How was it?
At first, I was a little upset. It was boring. I was a little bitter until I seen you and you gave me the lotion. So I got something. Which I love. I try to get my speed, man. So I got something to bring back with me to the hotel. Your scent. So that made me feel good.
So how
it's a
you
lady.
rated off the scent?
1,000. Yeah. Smell good. She got class. And for a woman to be wearing that, let me know I got to step my game up. Because I'll go to Walmart and get her some, with that jergens. I'll go get her some jergens. Yeah, I'll go get her some jergens. But I see, she what I'm saying? That's what I'm just saying. So she taught me something. No, but for real though, let me tell you what I like to do. Like I usually, when I do interviews, I always limit it for an hour. But when I first come, I get the feel of the people. First, I see how y'all come together. If it's a family and everybody, I want to see how y'all gonna interact with one another. Like, okay, I like the vibe. And then once I do the interview, because some people like to do stuff to get viral moments. Some people be disrespectful and all that. And I'd have been through some of the toughest of the toughest. So if I see it's a good vibe, I'm gonna rock out. Just go. And I like the vibe. Y'all had the good questions. It was some unique questions finally.
You smoke some good read.
No. Now listen, I'm gonna make sure if it's a woman around me, if she like to drink and smoke, I'm gonna go buy her the whole store because I want her nice and drunk and feeling good. So with the time,
Boy, what that button is? I need that button to say.
yeah, huh? Yeah. Oh yeah, you got to do that. That's a fact. Well, I'm gonna make sure that because before we gonna get in the shower together. Yeah, we gonna sit in the tub first. Yeah, that's right, bro. I gotta take my time. Listen, I'm gonna put that bubble bath in that thing. We're gonna sit down. We're gonna talk. Yeah, because I want to know his facts.
We got 3 more other questions.
Okay.
What you think about Robert Guy?
I love him. Good energy. Cool guy, respectful. I love him. Sneaky, very sneaky, but he up front, and I like that he stand on what he stand on.
I'm sorry, he's quiet.
Now, let me just say this here, because y'all, those who watch my story know I don't let nobody sit behind me. And when I heard his name, I was like, whoa, hold on now. Is he clutching back there? I gotta make sure he ain't got no tooth. I gotta make it back home. My mama waiting on me. I got a mother and 2 puppies. But no, yo, but I like when I first come in, some people will do this. Like people like, say it's like you might be a legend in your hood. And you might feel like, okay, I know who he is, but I'm somebody too, so I'm not gonna go. When I come here, I like that he came and showed love. So that shows that, okay, even though I got a name here, but I respect you coming to my house. So that's what I respect about him too, that, some people will put their pride and say, man, what's up, because I know who I am. And I always tell people it take a man to pull up and, hey, introduce yourself.
Me and Green Man.
And it's so ambitious, even though I wasn't sitting on the platform.
I think you the one that compliment the whole platform. Without you, I wouldn't have been sitting here. How long we been here? It's time for me to pray, but I wouldn't be. Yeah, man. You the one kept me focused and kept me going. That's right. Wow. You got a shout out. Bowling. Oh.
Bowling TV. You want to shout? Y'all ready? Everybody. Bowling TV.
You know what it is, Bowling TV?
Hey, long live the cord.
Long live the Lord.
Cold Bill. Not up for debate.
Not for debate, baby. Hold up.
This nigga right
Hold
here.
up.
This nigga
Cold beer, hot liquor, not up for debate, and some good water. Gotta have some water now.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, man. That's right.
But you real people in real time.
Man, I just fun, bro.
Right, close them out.
I thought you were about to sing. Oh, my bad.
So look, sometimes this is another episode of Bowl Line TV. Special guest, Cold Gut Hot Liquor with the big OG Mr. That's a right back.
Now let me introduce myself. Please don't do that.
Seriously, dude, keep the champ.
Yeah, he missed my. Thank you, man. Yeah, man. Cause that was so boring, bro. It's like I was gonna ask you to edit that out or something. You know, why this Terrence Gangster William, aka OG Giggity, aka Mr. Answer Right Back, aka the People's Champ, Terrence Civilian William, and I'm hanging out with Bowland TV. It's wait, hold up, cold beer, hot liquor, it's not up for debate. Yeah. That's who I did exclusive interview with them. Check it out. Wow. Hey, you see? All right, man. Don't ever do that again, bro. Yeah. Don't do it. You better mess up my flow, man. Cold beer, hot liquor, not up for debate. I like that. That's cool.
Hey,
I like for real. I like
Brother
that.
nigga gangster, man.
We ain't got no shit to call back.
outside before we was inside.
Hey, OG though.
Huh?
Man, bro, it was all experience.
Man, thank y'all for showing me love, bro.
Real talk, man.
Trip. Hey, dog called me back. Dog, Uncle Ben. You talking to him?
Glory be to God.
Peace.
Peace. What about from Ashley? I'm having a kid this whole time.